I texted LaFonda, and I don't think it's going to be happening. I'm pretty sure she just scammed me, actually. So I'm not very happy about that. I feel pretty stupid right now. It wasn't even a lot of money or anything, but it wasn't nothing. I don't have a very large income, so even $20 feels like something significant to me. But, either way, really, I'm just pissed at myself for being so retarded because looking back now, it seems pretty obvious now what was going on. Although, I guess I don't really blame myself just because it was only like 50 something dollars. So, it's not like a whole lot of money in the grand scheme of things. And I mean, I did actually meet LaFonda in real life a couple of times. So I didn't expect her to do something like that. And I think that is a reasonable expectation that somebody that I have met in person isn't going to just rip me off like that. Because she didn't seem like the type of person that would do that, I didn't think. Not that I knew her very well, but, I just thought she seemed like a regular, nice woman. She's obviously a flooze, excuse my French, but, she's not pretending that she's not, So, whatever. Here we are. LaFonda scammed me. I'm pretty sure, unless she just accidentally dropped her phone and it exploded or something, and that explains why she hasn't been responding to me. I'm pretty sure she just scammed me for the very low stakes of fucking chicken wings and a Sprite. Seriously, chicken wings and a Sprite and some fries. You really can't make this shit up. So basically what happened was a few hours ago, or I don't know, earlier today, I texted LaFonda. I just said, "Hey, LaFonda, I'm sorry we didn't get to hang out before. I'm single now, and I would love to hang out sometime if you're down." So that's what I texted her. She texted me back right away, and she said, "You better not be playing with me." So I said, "I'm not playing. I really want to hang out with you." Then she said, and I am translating her text, by the way, to standard American English for y'all, because if I read these texts verbatim, what she actually wrote, it wouldn't make sense. I can only make sense of her text by sounding it out phonetically out loud and then using my encyclopedic knowledge of Gucci Mane interviews along with my experience working at the car wash to kind of reverse engineer her texts into white people English, because what she actually wrote is very hard to understand. But yeah, so she had said, "You better not be playing with me." And just to give you an example of what I'm talking about, this is how she wrote that. What she meant was, "You better not be playing with me." But what she actually texted me was, "You bet nah be plain W me." I'll put that up on the screen so y'all can see exactly how she wrote it. So she literally wrote plane spelled like an airplane or a coordinate plane, Plane. But from context and my own personal experience as an acquaintance to black people, I know that what she meant was playing. She meant, "You better not be playing with me." And just looking at it now, that sentence has 7 words in it, and she only spelled one of them correctly. Me is the only word she spelled correctly in that entire text. And now, I'm not saying that LaFonda is stupid. She obviously fooled me for, 50 something bucks. So I don't think she's stupid. I think it's just a stylistic thing she's going for with how she's writing her text. I think she's just trying to look cool or something. She could probably spell the word playing if she wanted to. I think she knows how the word is spelled, probably. Maybe not, but she probably does. But yeah, anyways. So she said, "You bet not be playing with me, white boy." No, she didn't say white boy. That was just a joke. But seriously, she said, "You better not be playing with me." Then I said, "I'm not playing. I really want to hang out with you." Then she said, "You just want some of this booty." Which, that is a very astute assessment she made there, because that is true. I mean, I wouldn't mind also just hanging out with her, I guess. When we hung out before at the party with Jamal and everything, she's cool. She's nice to hang out with, I guess. But yes, the reason that I really want to hang out with her is the same reason it's always been from the start, because she was supposed to be letting me hit it. That's what it always was. That's what the deal always was. So, when she sent that text, "You just want some this booty," I get it. I rejected her before, and I was probably kind of rude about it, or it seemed kind of rude from her perspective. I understand that. So I get, she wants to give me a bit of a hard time now. It's fair enough. So I said to that, "I do, but I do like you. You're fun to hang out with." And, that took me like 30 minutes to come up with that, because, yeah, I didn't know what to say to that, because I guess she was giving me what they call a shit test. I think that's what they call it in red pill spaces. So I didn't really know exactly what to say to that, but, whatever. I think my response was good enough. So I'm not going to go through the entire conversation, but basically, she said that she can't hang out with me tonight, which is fine. I didn't expect to literally be hanging out the same day that I texted her. But we texted back and forth a little bit. And so she wanted me to DoorDash her some food from Wingstop to make up for being mean to her, as she put it. So I didn't really think too much about it. Obviously, I didn't want to be spending any money on her, especially not in that way, just paying to send her food. That's not something I wanted to do. I would be perfectly fine with buying her food at a restaurant that we went to together, but sending her food, just buying her food and having it sent to her wherever she's at, that's not something I ever wanted to do. But either way, I just figured, she probably just wants to feel like she's still classy. She probably just wants me to buy her some food just so she can prove to herself that she's in control or whatever. She's not just some total floozy that, I don't know. It made enough sense in my head at the time that I didn't really think about it like, oh, this is a scam. And I mean, a $40, $50 investment, if that actually worked out and that was what I had to pay to get me a ticket to Funky Town with the just stunningly beautiful LaFonda, then that would be worth it. I mean, I joke kind of, stunningly beautiful, but it would be worth it, like $40 to, a nice time with her. I think that would be worth it. So she sent me her order, and she's a bigger gal, so I wasn't really surprised by the quantity she was ordering. Some people might look at her order and they would think, well, that's got to be at least for 2 people, probably 3 people with that much Wingstop. But I didn't really think too much of it. Now, in hindsight, maybe she was ordering for 2 or 3 people. I don't really know. There was only 1 drink on the order, a large Sprite. So maybe it was just for her. Not that it matters anyways. But yeah, so I ordered the food. It ended up being more than $50 with the delivery fee and everything. It could have been even more than that if I tipped, but I figured, I'm not even eating this food. I'm not the one that is receiving this delivery service. So if LaFonda wants to tip the driver, she can do that. That's on her. I'm not tipping extra when the delivery fee and the service fee, 2 separate things, by the way, 2 separate fees, delivery fee and the service fee, those are already, it's like $10 together. And frankly, they don't deserve tips anyways. Tipping is a moronic system with 0 logical basis. There's not any consistency in what kind of jobs you're supposed to tip for. And keep in mind, remember, I worked for tips at the car wash, so I was benefiting from the tipping system, but that did not change my opinion at all. I still think it's moronic. It's a moronic system for morons that also it's morally wrong. Tipping is morally wrong. I feel guilty when I tip. You should feel guilty when you leave a tip. And what it really is in practice, it's just implied blackmail. You just tip so they don't spit in your food or whatever. So yeah, I definitely do not feel guilty about not tipping. And in fact, I think you should feel guilty when you do tip, because every time you leave a tip, you are supporting an anti-consumer system that makes eating out or getting a haircut or whatever more expensive for everybody. And you're also supporting a sexist system that allows women to make twice as much money as men working the same exact job, probably in a lot of cases doing a better job than the women that are making twice as much. But it's just because, oh, look at her. Ooh, wee, awoga, she's hot. What a hottie. Maybe if I tip her real good, she'll go out with me. Maybe she'll go out with my 50-year-old bald fat ass. Maybe this hot young 22-year-old will go out with me if I tip her real good. That's the thing. I don't even know. It's retarded. It's a system for morons. If you tip, you're a moron. I'm sorry to tell you, if you didn't know this, you're a moron and you do something morally wrong on a regular basis. That's, you do you. I'm no better because I also tip. I just, I at least feel guilty about it, but yeah, so I didn't tip for LaFonda's Wingstop order. It was already $50 without me tipping on top of that. So I don't know. She might have tipped at the door. She probably didn't. I have no way of knowing. But yeah, I don't really care. If the driver did mess with her food, then she deserves it anyways. Because, yeah, so I placed the order and I texted her that it was on the way, and I could see on the app that it was delivered. like an hour later, the app says that the food was delivered, but she never texted me again after that. And this was hours ago. So unless her phone exploded or something, or I don't know, her phone ran out of battery and she's just not able to charge it, which I find hard to believe. I find that nearly impossible to believe. I'm pretty sure she just ripped me off for some chicken wings and a Sprite and some fries. And that's that. I will probably never hear from her again. I mean, ultimately, it's probably a good thing. Like, when I look at adult images online, I would literally never choose to look at women that look anything like LaFonda. So, I mean, thinking about it like that, how enjoyable would it even be? I question if it would actually even be worth it. Because there are some risks involved, obviously. And I would have to wear armor, rubber armor. And I think that would probably make it not feel that good anyways. I don't really know. I mean, I'm sure it would still feel good. There's a reason that people still do it all the time, even if they're wearing armor, but call it cope. You can say I'm coping. Maybe I am, but I need an actual girlfriend, not just some random hood rat to do it with me one time. And I don't need a girlfriend to never do it with, like what I had going on with the Indian girl. Like, I need a woman that's somewhere halfway between LaFonda and the Indian girl. That's what I need. But preferably less fat than either of them. That would also be preferable, but I know I'm not going to get that. And even if I did have the opportunity, I'm sure I'd just screw it up somehow anyways. So, whatever. What I actually need to do, I think I just need to stop thinking about all this shit in the first place. I need to stop thinking about women. Easier said than done. But I need to stop thinking about women all the time and the things that I never get to do, never got to experience, never get to experience. I mean, I don't know. I can think about it. I can think about women and all those things, but I need to just let go of any and all hope of ever actually getting those things, ever actually finding a woman that would actually make me happy, because it's not going to happen. With the quality of women that I can actually get, or that maybe I can actually get, because I guess I can't actually get with LaFonda because that, I mean, I don't know, like, would it have worked out earlier? I mean, probably. I guess I had a chance. Or maybe even then she was trying to rip me off somehow. I don't know. But the quality of women that I can maybe kind of actually get, they're not worth it. I don't care if that makes me a Volcel. A Volcel? He's voluntarily so. And I don't understand why some of y'all use this term Volcel like it's the biggest insult in the world. Like, it would be one thing if I had chances with actually good-looking or even average-looking women, but you shouldn't blame a guy for being a Volcel when his only options are a fat Indian woman that literally kind of smells bad. Or, I mean, that wasn't even an option, really, because she was still going to leave me involuntarily celibate, even if I stayed with her. So, yeah, Volcel is not the insult you think it is. The whole Volcel thing really only makes sense as a way of criticizing a guy for having too high of standards. Like, if I had the ability to get with average-looking women, then yes, in that case, you could call me a Volcel. But when you call someone a Volcel just because they don't want to get with a woman that's 400 pounds and smells like a cigarette butt dipped in Malort, then that's like, it's technically true, but how is that an insult? A man that is, I don't know, a 4 out of 10 in looks should be able to get with a woman that's a 4 out of 10. So don't call that guy a Volcel if his only options in reality are women that are 1 out of 10. And in my case, I don't know what anyone else would rate me, but I think I'm probably like a 4 on a good day. LaFonda is probably about my looks match, and the Indian girl is at least my looks match, but I don't know. I lost my train of thought there, and I really don't care at this point. I just got ripped off for $50-something of freaking Wingstop. Like, at least get something good, like Taco Bell or something. I'll never understand why people buy wings at a restaurant. You know, with LaFonda, maybe it's in her DNA. I don't know. I wouldn't buy Wingstop. That's not what I would ask for. I would ask for something good. If you're gonna eat out, then get something that's worth it, something good. You know, I like wings. They're fine. I've never had Wingstop, but I like wings in general if somebody's offering, but I'm not going to pay for wings. It's like $2 or more per wing these days at most places. And one wing is what, like 2 bites, 3 bites, 35 calories or something per $2 fucking. Get real. This shit is ridiculous. Get something good. Like, why didn't she ask for Taco freaking Bells? Ask for something good, you know? Wingstop? I've never been to Wingstop, and I never will go to Wingstop. That $50-something is the only amount of money that Wingstop will ever get out of me. Because I'm not paying for wings. But, you know, whatever. Who cares? I hope she enjoys it, but I'm done. I'm done trying to appease women. If I ever again get another random opportunity with any woman, which who knows, it might actually happen because I guess I've got a few opportunities in the past year or two that I didn't expect to happen. So, hey, yeah, maybe it could happen again. But if it does, I'm not going to be dealing with any more bullshit. The first sign of any BS like, oh, you need to get a job or you got to buy me some chicken wings and a Sprite first before we fuck. The fact that she got a Sprite, like, come on. They have Dr. Pepper there. But okay, whatever. I don't care. So that's what she wants. She wants a Sprite and some chicken wings. Okay, whatever. First sign of some BS like that, if I ever get another opportunity, I'm just going to tell her straight up, nah, I don't do that. Because I keep trying to give these
women
what they say they want. And as of now, last time I checked, I have still never used my wiener for its intended purpose. For its like, well, like I use it for like the one and, you know. So screw it. Fuck it. Frick it. Fuck it. Frick it. Whatever. I'm going my own way. I mean, I don't know. The men going their own way is kind of gay, whatever. But I'm done with dealing with any kind of BS from these flues ladies out here. You know, people say, you know, oh, get a clue, get a clue. I got a clue. I got a flues clues. Okay, that joke didn't really work, but I'm done, man. I'm just, it's, you know, again, $50 is not that much, but I do feel pretty stupid right now. And I am for doing that. It should be obvious. If a woman wants you to DoorDash her some food, don't do that. Obviously, you should never do that. Now, in this case, I felt like it's a sure thing. I'm going to get to hit. So I don't care. Whatever.